going on, guys? Wes, aka Sunstrabi here. Today I'll be talking about Guilty Gear Strive from the perspective of someone new to fighting games. Um, as the title suggests, I'm, new to the genre. The main game I've played before was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I got pretty good at it. I never played on like a competitive or professional level, but it was the one fighting game I felt that I was actually good at. And I got into, I learned about the frame data and stuff like that, and I got really good at it. My main character was Inkling, and then I hopped on to Joker, and then I played a bunch of characters. But a platform fighter is definitely different from the main, thing you think of when you think fighting games. Like, you think of Street Fighter, you think of, the main one you think of is Street Fighter. You think of Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken. Tekken's a little bit different. That's another game I tried to get into, but I couldn't really grasp it. My brain was a little bit too smooth for that. So I saw this game and I thought, wow, this game looks pretty. I want this game to be my intro to the fighting game genre as a whole. So I pre-ordered it, and I have to say this game is amazing. This game is so good. It's so beautiful. It's really simple to get into. Not too hard for someone who's bad at fighting games. The online is great. But yeah, let's jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the graphics and art style. This game is beautiful. This game is such a pretty game. I never had any issues with the visuals. Sometimes it would lag, but that's just because of the internet. But this game, the particle effects are beautiful. Just the general everything is pretty. The game stays at a stable 60 frames per second. I've never had any issues with it lagging or anything. It's pretty resource. It's not very resource intensive, so I can run a bunch of stuff in the background while I play. Still no issues. There might be a few issues here and there, but those will be fixed soon in a patch. This game is brand new. Game is pretty. Excuse me. Game is super pretty. And if you couldn't already tell, this video is unscripted. I don't really like doing scripted things. It makes my brain hurt. But next thing I want to talk about is the online. The online is great. It's rollback based netcode. Single frame rollback delay on peak performance. My internet is god awful. I have a 1.3 download and like a 0.4 upload, so my internet definitely not good at all. But most of my matches were around the 3 to 4 frame rollback, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not ideal, especially for peak level players, but it's good. It's good enough for what I do, for just me playing at a casual level. The online finding a match isn't too hard. There's a few server issues at the moment, but it's a brand new game. It'll be fixed eventually. Never saw any issues with. Well, I saw a few issues with matchmaking. Sometimes it'd take me a good 5 minutes to get into a match because it'd find an opponent and then I'd drop connection before I could even start the match. So it happens. But how online works is there's 2 modes for finding a match. There's a lobby system, and there's the just queue. You just hop into training mode and then you can start matchmaking and you'll find a match. With the lobby system, it's similar to Dragon Ball Fighters, where you run around, hop in a duel station and wait for somebody to come fight you. You can talk to people. There's a few side things there's a thing called fishing, where you just pay the gold that you earn from fights to get cosmetics, music tracks, art that you can look at in the gallery, which is pretty nice. You get you have an avatar online, so you can get things to dress up your avatar, which is really cool. But I never had any really issues with online. Nothing too serious to talk about there, except it's great netcode. Never seen any better netcode. Next on the list is just the game itself. The game is pretty simple. It's a whole lot more simple compared to the other games in the series, like Guilty Gear Rev 2. equals Zerd Rev 2. That's a lot more simple. There's a mission mode, in quotes. It teaches you the basics of the game. It teaches you, like the dashes. It teaches you even complex things like dash canceling, jump canceling. It teaches you the Guilty Gear specific thing, Roman canceling, which is nice. Teaches you all the basics you need to know for the game just to, play it. And it's super easy. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of missions where you can learn character-specific things, like combos and whatnot. And you get to choose what character you want to play for this mission, so it teaches you that specific character's thing, which is really cool if you want to try out different characters and their combos. The game is pretty easy, especially input-wise. Like, I know I've dropped as a kid. I used to not like fighting games because I just couldn't do my quarter circle punch as a kid. But now, I can do it pretty easily. But even if I do screw up, the game is like, oh, he got close enough, and then they'll just let you do it. Nothing, no harm, no foul there, right? And there's not too many inputs to learn. I know for my character, Kisuke, however you pronounce it, he has 3 command normals, 6 input attacks, and then 3 like specials, like the specials that use like the special gauge for other games. In this game, it's called the tension gauge. I have 3 of those, so there's not too many to learn. It's just 9, excluding the command normals. It's super easy just to wrap your head around and remember all of them, and then you can get to more complicated stuff. Excuse me, like long combos. So that's really nice. I really enjoy that part of the game. From the gameplay in the background, you can probably tell I'm not very good. I've only have about 3-4 hours in the game in general, and a lot of that time is just me sitting in mission mode, learning stuff. But this game is definitely great. This is definitely going to be put at like my top 10, maybe even top 5 games of 2021. This game is so good. Sure, nothing really great has come out this year, with the pandemic being in full swing last year, halting a lot of progress on a lot of major projects. So I'm not looking forward to too many games in the future, but this game is definitely up there with the production quality. Oh, one thing I forgot, the music. The music in this game is so good. It's a lot of rock tracks. There's some techno tracks in there. There's some really odd things thrown in. A lot of vocal stuff. There's a lot of vocal tracks in there. Really nice. The background music is great. So good. I'm pretty sure I already have a few of the songs from the OST in my playlist already. Such good music. That's all I really want to say about Guilty Gear for now. I'll probably put out a more in-depth video later with higher production quality on the game. There's a few other projects I want to talk about before I end my whole spiel. I want to do a video on Final Fantasy 14 from the perspective of a newbie to MMOs. That's one thing I want to put out. I want to put out a video on Black Desert Online. If you guys have ever heard about that game, I've put in too many hours in that game for me to not have a video up on it. So I'll definitely push that out. I also want to talk about a game that's not completely done yet, but it's definitely one of the best indie games this year. It's called Unbeatable White Label. It's going to be like the same format as this game, as this video. Unbeatable from the perspective of a newbie to rhythm games. Hold song and dance, record some video, put on a lo-fi background track, record some audio of me just blabbering out my mouth, and boom, video's done, upload it. So, so I'm just gonna let the gameplay run in the background, have some lo-fi on for you to relax to, And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.